Yes, good morning students. I'm happy to welcome you for this class called the water supply. We started with this topic called hydrostatics, where the last class we were talking about fluid properties. We have said fluid properties includes we had the density. I'm saying density is the ratio of mass per unit or volume of a substance. Then talk about the unit weight of a substance. I'm saying the unit weight of a substance is the ratio of mass of a substance to the weight of a substance to its volume. So for us to get the unit weight, specific weight of a substance, we have the weight over the volume, where we say the unit weight or specific weight of a fluid is given as we have specific weight, and the same is the ratio of weight over volume, and say that weight is measured into Newton and volume is measured into cubic meters. Therefore, the SI unit of specific weight we say is a Newton per meter cube or kilonewton per meters cube. Then another factors we talked about viscosity. And what is viscosity? I say viscosity is the ratio of viscosity. We have the specific surface specific volume. I say specific volume is for us to get specific volume. Another factor, specific volume. It is specific weight over 1. This is called specific weight, where it is given as 1 over alpha, because specific weight is normally given as an alpha. Then we talked about surface tension, and the same is the properties of the fluid. The third property was surface tension, and the same is the properties of the fluid or of a liquid that allow it to resist an external force due to its adhesive forces that in between. So for this class, I wanted to talk about pressure. And for us to start from pressure, we are required to talk about types of pressure or definitions of pressure and how we can use various equipment to measure pressure. Pressure is simply the ratio of the force acting. Pressure is the force acting normally or perpendicularly per unit area. That because that force is a weight, we say now it is Newton, and area is measured into meters squared. Therefore, the SI unit of pressure is given as Newton per meter squared or joules. Newton per meter squared. We can also have kilonewton per meter squared. Then talk about types of pressure. We simply have 3 types of pressure. We have absolute pressure. We have atmospheric pressure, and lastly we had what is called absolute. We have absolute, atmospheric, then we have the gauge pressure. And what do we mean when we say that we have atmospheric pressure? This is the pressure which is extended by the column of the air above the surface of the earth. And when we say the gauge pressure, it simply means this is the pressure above the atmospheric pressure. Then you can have what is called the absolute pressure, and say is the pressure taken when absolute pressure is taken below the datum of an object. But that one is said is absolute pressure. And now we can have some little calculations. We sometimes can be told that we can determine examples. We can have some examples on pressure. On pressure, we can say that determine the pressure exerted by a lady. Determine the pressure exerted by the lady of mass of 840 kilograms if the area of contact between her shoes and the floor is 420 meters square. We know that pressure, let's say, is given as force over area, and therefore, if you look at whatever we are given, we are only given the mass, since now we are required to convert the mass into force. And what is the relationship between mass and force? We say mass is given as, force is given as mass times gravity. So for us to get the force, we have to multiply 840 kilogram times the gravity of the earth, which is 10 Newton per kilogram. Therefore, we'll have our force as 808,400 Newton. Therefore, our pressure will simply have to be 8,400 Newton divided by 420, and this one will give us 200 Newton per meter square. Then we can talk about pressure measuring instrument. When we talk about pressure measuring instrument, we can have the barometer as discussed. You can see how it works. We have the piezometer as an instrument that we can use for measuring the pressure. Then we have the YouTube manometer. Reaching from there, most of this we'll have to discuss tomorrow when we'll be having a Zoom class, and most of the contents are in the system. Let's meet up for tomorrow for the next class. Thank you.